Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to go over 100 educational psychology multiple choice questions and answers. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, and if you haven't already subscribed, I urge you to subscribe. Thank you for supporting me and for supporting all our efforts in trying to share psychological information, principles, and concepts. Thank you. Without wasting much of your time, let's go over to the first question. Question 1. Which of the following is one of the primary aims of educational psychology? The keyword here is primary aims of educational psychology, and the four options are: A, to provide the teacher with a greater appreciation of his role in the education of the child; B, to provide the academic background essential for effective teaching; C, to provide a theoretical framework for educational research; and D, to contribute to an understanding of sound educational practices. Of the four options, the correct answer is D. If you look at the other three options, we have rejected them because A, it is talking mainly about the greater appreciation of the teacher within the education of the child, which is not one of the aims of educational psychology. B is talking about the academic background, and which is not also another aim of educational psychology. And C mainly focus on educational research, which is not one of the aims of educational psychology. Number 2, general psychology and educational psychology are different in that educational psychology is A, concerned with the child and not the adult; B, is concerned with the various aspects of learning; C, deals only with the application and not with the theory; D, selects and emphasizes certain principles and concepts from the general field. The correct answer is D. When you look at D, it mainly focuses, it says it emphasizes certain principles and concepts from the general field, of which the general field which is being referred to here is psychology. So you find that educational psychology mainly takes relevant principles and concepts from psychology to apply within the field of education. So that's why we say it is educational psychology. Number 3, educational psychology is concerned with A, the learner, the learning processes; C, the learning situation; and D, all of the above. If you look at all the options, you'll notice that they are all concerns of educational psychology: the learner, the learning processes, even the learning situation, which is the environment. So the correct answer here is D. Number 4, which of the following is not a function of educational psychology? A, to discover techniques by means of which educational goals can be attained effectively; B, to define the goals for which education is to strive; C, to promote a greater understanding of the learning process; D, to promote a greater understanding of the learner. Which of the following is not, the keyword here is not, a function of educational psychology? So you'll notice this question is also similar to the one on question 3. So the correct answer here is B, which says this is not one of the function of educational psychology, since it mainly concentrates on education per se, but all the other 3 options are relevant when you are looking at the concept of educational psychology. Number 5, the primary task of the teacher is, that is the primary task of the teacher within the field of educational psychology is A, to teach the prescribed curriculum. B, to stimulate and guide student learning. C, to promote habits of conformity to adults' demands and expectations. D, to provide diagnostic and remedial aid wherever indicated. So when you look at these options, the primary task of the teacher within educational psychology is to stimulate and guide student learning. That is the primary task of the teacher, by stimulating, that is how teaching, and guiding by offering support to students as they learn. So this is the correct answer. Number 6, which of the following teacher characteristics and procedures is most often given by children is one of the reasons for not liking the teacher? Which of the following teacher traits and procedures is most often given by children is one of the reasons for not liking the teacher? A, irritable and bad temperament. B, ignorance of the subject matter. C, unfairness and favoritism. D, unreasonable demands on the children. So you will notice all these options are some of the traits that children or students review as not liking, for not liking the teacher, but one of them is the most factor that is given. So when you look at the 4 options, the correct answer is irritable and bad temperament. This is the correct answer. When you look at the other 3 options, A becomes the correct answer, whereby the teacher is irritable and is a bad temperament. So if one is irritable and is a bad temperament, it also affects all the other processes within the learning environment. Number 7, which method of research contributes most to the advancement of educational psychology as a science? A, clinical method. B, experimental method. C, historical method. And D, survey method. If you remember, we say psychology is the scientific study of mental processes and human behavior, and it is a science. When you look at the 4 options, one of the which contributes to the most, it's not that all these other options are not effective, but what contributes the most is the experimental method. So the correct answer is B. Which of the following is not an accepted stage in Kohlberg's theory of moral development? A, interpersonality. B, individualism and exchange. C, social contract and individual rights. D, universal principles. When you look at all these 4 options, you realize that one of them is not one of the stages of the theory of moral development by Kohlberg. And the correct answer here is interpersonality. This is not one of the stages of Kohlberg's theory, but all the other 3 options are stages within Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Number 9, in education, dash is used to make inference about the learning and development of students. A, assessment. B, evaluation. C, measurement. D, diagnosis. When you look at all these options, the one that is used to make inference about learning and development of students is assessment. So the correct answer will be assessment. So in education, assessment is used to make inference about the learning and development of students. Number 10, Piaget's developmental sequence follow which order? A, pre-operational, sensory-motor, concrete, operational. B, sensory-motor, operational, concrete, operational, and formal operational. C, sensory-motor, pre-operational, formal operational, and concrete operational stage. D, sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, formal operational stage. The correct answer would be D, because the correct sequence of Piaget's theory of cognitive development is first stage is sensory motor, followed by pre-operational, then concrete, and finally formal operational stage. Number 11, dash is the basic institution for the socialization of children. A, school. B, religion. C, family. D, community. All these four options play a greater role in the socialization of children, but one of them is the most important and the most basic, which is the family. Because as children grow up, they become socialized initially within the family setup, where we have the mother, the siblings, the father, and all the relevant stakeholders that make up the family. Number 12, the movement towards an early intervention model makes which of the following more important? A, the family environment. B, the theoretical model. C, the medical model. D, all of these. So when you look at the movement that tries to make an early intervention, it makes use of all the three options, that is the family environment, theoretical model, and the medical model. So the correct answer is all of these, which is D. Number 13, the term that refers to a child who is between 3 to 9 years old and he has a significantly limited, impaired, or delayed learning capacity is A, communication impairment. B, developmental delay. C, specific learning disability. D, intellectual impairment. The correct answer here is developmental delay. This is the term that is used to refer to children who fall between the ages of 3 and 9 and have significantly, the keyword here, limited, impaired, or delayed learning. And these all point out to developmental delay. That is developmental in terms of achieving the critical milestones that are supposed to be achieved by an individual or a child within this critical age range between 3 and 9. Number 14, which of the following criteria can be used to define intellectual disabilities? A, significantly below average intellectual functioning. B, impairments in adaptive functioning generally. C, these deficits should be manifest before the age of 18, and D, all of the above. So if you look at the characteristics that are used to define intellectual disability, you realize that all the three are main characteristics that are used in identifying children or people suffering from children or students suffering from intellectual disabilities. So the correct answer would be D, which is all of the above. Number 15, dash is the situation in which there are agreed on responsibilities within the family for caring for a child with a disability. The options are family dominance. B, family harmony. C, family empowerment. D, family routine. The correct answer is family harmony. So family harmony is the situation in which they agreed on responsibilities within the family for caring for a child with a disability. This is whereby different members of the family give each other tasks and responsibilities for caring for a child within the family that has a disability. So the mother might be given one responsibility, the father might have another responsibility, or they may share these responsibilities of caring for the needy child. So the concept is family harmony, which is B. The FQLS, developed by Turnbull and Turnbull, A, measures the improvement in the child's behavior. B, defines and measures the family's quality of life. C, measures the child's progress in school. D, evaluates the quality of the child's teacher. The correct answer is B. The family quality of life scale that was developed by Turnbull and Turnbull defines and measures a family's quality of life. Number 17, as collaborative members of their child's multidisciplinary team, parents can A, provide professionals with important information about the child. B, take an active role in the teaching of their child. C, reinforce learning that can take place in the classroom. And D, all of the above. So if you look at all these options, you realize that they are all aimed at providing the environment for parents to be collaborative with other stakeholders who may take care of their child. So the correct answer here, you'll notice that they may provide professionals with important information about the child, that is the background of the child and all relevant information. They may take an active role in the teaching of their child, that is when the child is at home and is not at school. And C, reinforced learning that has taken place in the school, that is to appreciate what the teacher may have done and continue on the same trajectory when the child is at home. So the correct answer here is D. All of these factors ensure that parents play their collaborative role within a multidisciplinary team. Number 18, according to Maslow, some needs grow stronger when unsatisfied. Maslow called these needs A, being needs, B, primary needs, C, deficient needs, D, growth needs. The correct answer is deficient needs. These are the needs that grow stronger when unsatisfied. So the correct answer would be C. Number 19, a student who completes learning tasks in order to earn stars on a paper is motivated by A, mastery goals, B, extrinsic factors, C, intrinsic factors, D, knowing factors. When you look at these options, the correct answer is extrinsic factors. Okay, when you look at the two extrinsic and intrinsic factors, you will notice that when we are talking about extrinsic factors, we are talking about situations in which one is motivated to perform an activity to earn rewards or to avoid punishment. But when we are talking about intrinsic factors, we are talking about when one is motivated by an activity for its own sake and for personal reward. So the correct answer is B. Number 20, which of the following points is consistent with the social model of disability? A, it is impossible to cater for all requirements and disadvantage is inevitable. B, disability is caused by the way society is organized, not by a person's impairment, and barriers must be removed to enable independence and equality. C, society must focus on what is wrong with the person and how they can adapt. D, impairments or differences should be fixed or changed by medical or other treatments. The correct answer here, when you are looking at the social model of disability, the correct answer is B. When you're looking at a social model of disability, we are talking about the way society is organized and the removal of barriers within society. But when you look at D, D talks about the differences should be fixed or changed by medical. This talks about the medical model of disability. But the correct answer, as alluded earlier, is B. Number 21. What does comorbidity mean? A. Comorbidity means that a cognitive impairment can shorten lifespan. B. It means that a condition can appear independently and have a detrimental effect on performance. C. It describes a disorder or condition that may occur with another condition or disorder. And D. None of the above. So the correct answer when you say comorbidity, co it means true. So the correct answer here is C. A term which describes a disorder or condition that may occur with another disorder or conditioning. Number 22, educational psychology should provide prospective teachers with A. Insight into the various aspects of modern education. B. Principles, insights, and attitudes as points of departure for effective teaching. C. Research procedures by means of which to evaluate correct teaching procedures. D. Evaluate procedures to use in their teaching. The correct answer, when you look at all these options, the correct answer here should be A, whereby educational psychology should provide prospective teachers with insight into the various aspects of modern education. This is an encompassing term, whereas all the other procedures or all the other terms are focusing on specific issues that may not relate to educational psychology per se. Number 23, when is behavior classified as abnormal? A, when it is statistically unusual. B, when it is inappropriate. C, when it interferes with functioning in society. And D, all of the above. So when you look at all these three options, you'll notice that when is behavior classified as abnormal, you notice that if a behavior is statistically unusual, it is abnormal, and when it is inappropriate, it is also abnormal, and when it interferes with normal functioning within society, it is also abnormal. So the correct answer here is D. So when a behavior is classified as normal, it should have all these three factors. That is, it must be statistically unusual, inappropriate, and it must interfere with normal functioning within society. Number 24, an ideal teacher should concentrate on A, teaching methods, B, subject matter being taught, C, on students and their behaviors, and D, on all of the above factors. The correct answer here is D. An ideal teacher should concentrate on the teaching methods, the subject matter being taught, and also on students and their behavior within the classroom environment. Number 25, good reading aims at developing A, pronunciation, B, sensitivity, C, increasing factual knowledge, D, understanding. The correct answer here is understanding. When you understand what you are reading, it also includes all the other. You have to understand. It means that you are sensitive of what you are reading, and you're also increasing the knowledge as well as improving your pronunciation. So the correct answer here is D. Number 26. One of the students of a class hardly talks in class. How would you encourage him or her to express himself or herself? A, by organizing discussions. B, encouraging children to take part in classroom activities. C, by organizing educational games programs in which children feel like speaking. And D, by giving good marks to those who express themselves well. The correct answer here is C, by organizing educational games and programs in which children feel like speaking. So when you organize educational games, research indicates that most of the times when children hardly talk during class activities, they are encouraged to express themselves whenever they are playing games or educational programs that they may prefer. So when you notice one of your students who has problems in articulating yourself or talking in class, that student might be encouraged to talk and express himself or herself through games. So games are encouraged. Number 27, according to Piaget, children can reason about hypothetical entities in the dash stage: A, pre-operational stage; B, sensory-motor stage; C, formal operational stage; D, concrete operational. The correct answer here is formal operational. This is whereby children have the ability to reason about hypothetical entities within their own environment. Number 28, the period of development during which school readiness skills are developed and most free time is spent playing with friends is called A, infancy; B, early childhood; C, middle childhood; D, late childhood. The correct answer is early childhood. This is the period whereby children are school school ready and the skills are developed whereby they spend their time playing with their peers and also are ready to begin formal learning through schooling. Number 29, from an educator's point of view, identification of a child as disabled is necessary when the student is dash. A is an obvious inter-individual difference, is an obvious intra-individual difference. C requires special adaptation in the educational program. D is identified by parents, teachers, and school administrators and support persons as having a disability. The correct answer here is C. From an educator's point of view, identification of a student as disabled is necessary when the student requires special adaptations in the educational program or programs. Number 30, the period from birth to 2 weeks is called A, prenatal; B, neonate period; C, adulthood; D, adolescence. The correct answer is neonate period. This is the period between birth and 2 weeks. Number 31, children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, have difficulty in A, regulating their activity level; B, controlling impulsive behavior; C, maintaining attention; D, all the above. If you have read the main characteristics of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, you'll notice that students with this condition have problems regulating their activity levels and controlling their impulsive behavior and maintaining attention. So the correct answer here is all of the above. That's D. Number 32, when considering the interaction of heredity and environment, it is important for teachers to understand that A, changing a child's environment can have little effect on hereditary influences; B, present educational viewpoints place most of their emphasis on the role of heredity; C, present educational viewpoints ascribe to a medical model of exceptionalities; and D, changing the environmental conditions of early childhood can result in behavior changes. So when considering the interaction of heredity and environment, it is important for teachers to understand that the correct answer here is D. It is important for teachers to understand that changing the environmental conditions of early childhood can result in behavior changes. That is why most of our emphasis nowadays is placed on conducive early childhood learning is essential in altering the behavior of children as they grow up. Number 33, which theorist proposed that children go through moral developmental stages? A. Erikson, B. Kohlberg, C. Piaget, D. Gesell. The correct answer is Kohlberg. Kohlberg is the one who proposed the theory of moral development, in that children go through various stages as they develop morally. Number 34, which stage precedes identity in Erikson's psychosocial stages? A. Intimacy, B. Industry, C. Initiative, D. Generativity. The key word here is precedes. Precedes means before. So we are saying what is the stage that comes before identity when you are looking at Erikson's psychosocial stages. So the correct answer here is industry. Number 35, which of the following statements is true about the point of view of educational psychology? A. Children create their own knowledge. B. Children do not have any prior knowledge from before coming to school. C. Children suffer in learning processes. And D. Children learn exactly what they are taught. Which of the following statements is true? So the keyword here is true about educational psychology. And when you look at all these options, you realize that option A is the statement that reflects a true reflection of educational psychology. That is, children create their own knowledge as they are taught within the learning environment. Number 36, which of the following statements most correctly reveals the meaning of educational psychology? A. It is a science of studying the mind of a person. B. It constitutes the experiences of a person. C. It only deals with social processes of the individual. D. It provides psychological basis to education. The correct answer is D. Educational psychology provides psychological basis to education. That is, it employs the concepts and issues as well as theories of psychology within the area of education. Number 37, teachers should study educational psychology so that they A. easily impress students, B. understand themselves, C. can do experiments on animals, D. make teaching more meaningful. Of all the options, the correct answer here is D. Teachers should study educational psychology so that they can make teaching more meaningful. So the correct answer is D. Number 38, the nature of educational psychology is scientific because A. it only studies science. B. In educational psychology, the principles were formed on the basis of information only. C. The behavior of the learner in the educational environment is studied through scientific methods. And D. It only studies the behavior of students. The correct answer here is C. The nature of educational psychology being scientific is because the behavior of the learner in the educational environment is studied through scientific methods. So the correct answer is C. Number 39, Dash identifying the educational psychology as the study of teaching and learning. A. James Ross, B. Charles Skinner, C. Brunner, D. Watson. The correct answer here is Charles Skinner. He's the one who defined educational psychology as the study of teaching and learning. Number 40, Dash stresses more on the philosophy of social constructivism. A. Piaget, B. Joule, C. Kohlberg, D. Vygotsky. The correct answer here is Vygotsky. He is the one who stresses more on social constructivism as a philosophy. Vygotsky was a Russian psychologist. Number 41, the two-factor theory of intelligence was propounded by, or was founded by A. Thorndike, B. Binet, C. Spearman, and D. None of the above. The correct answer here is Spearman. Number 41, according to Piaget, children forget things that are out of sight at this stage in their cognitive development. A. Sensorimotor stage, B. Pre-operational stage, C. Concrete stage, D. Formal stage. The correct answer here is sensory stage. This is the stage where children forget things that are out of sight in their cognitive development. It is not just out of sight, out of mind, but out of sight and out of existence. This is the point where children lack a sense of what Piaget called object permanence, and out of sight to children at this stage, it's out of sight and out of existence. The moment that object is removed from their sight or of view, point of view, they think that within their cognitive thinking, they realize that it is no longer there. So it's out of sight and out of existence. And this is a term that is called object permanence. Number 43, which of the following is not one of Kohlberg's stages of moral development? A. Obedience and punishment. B. Good interpersonal relationships. C. Maintaining the social order. D. Social rights. When you look at all these options, you realize all of these three are part of Kohlberg's stages of development, and only social rights. This is the correct answer. It is not one of Kohlberg's stages of moral development. Number 44, which method in educational psychology depicts the scientific nature of the discipline? A. Correlational, B. Experimental, C. Case study method, and D. Clinical method. The correct answer here is experimental method. This is the method which truly depicts the scientific nature of educational psychology. Number 45, the basic foundations of physical, mental, and personality development are laid during this which period? A. Infancy, B. Childhood, C. Adolescence, D. Adulthood. The correct answer is childhood. This is the period where the physical, mental, and personality characteristics of an individual are developed. Number 46, the environmental conditions that influence development are called A. Nature, B. Ethology, C. Ecological system, D. Socio-cultural. The correct answer is socio-cultural. These are the environmental conditions that influence development. Number 47, psychology has made education centered. A. School, B. Teacher, C. Child, and D. All of the above. The correct answer here is all of the above. Psychology has made education, teacher, school, and child centered. Number 48, the thinking processes involved in producing an idea or concepts that are new, original, and useful is termed A. Innovation, B. Creative, C. Intelligent, D. All of the above. The correct answer is creative. This is the thinking process which involves the production of an idea and concepts that are not only new but are original as well as useful. Number 15, which of the following is associated with analytical psychology? A. Wundt, B. Maslow, C. Jung, D. Erickson. When you look at all the four options, the correct answer here is Carl Jung. Is the one who is associated with analytical psychology. We've come to the halfway mark of our presentation on 100 multiple choice questions and answers in educational psychology. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, we urge you to subscribe. If you have any comments, any issues or queries that you might have, may you please write on the comments page below. And if you have any other issue or anything that you might want to share, may you please share. And if you haven't subscribed, may you also subscribe. Number 51. Which of the following is not considered as effective classroom teaching? A. Feedback. B. Lack of technology. C. Teaching strategies and skills. D. Communication between the learners and teachers. When you look at all the four options, you notice that the lack of technology is the one that cannot be considered as effective classroom teaching. Feedback is part of effective classroom teaching. Teaching strategies and skills are also part of effective teaching. Communication between learners and teachers is also one of the essential skills for effective classroom teaching. So the correct answer is B. Number 52. Dash is also referred to as the toy age. A. Late childhood. B. Early childhood. C. Adulthood. D. Infancy. Early childhood is the one that is considered the toy age. This is the period when children start to learn through games and through the use of toys. Number 53. Educational psychology is the key word here, is not one of the following. A. An applied science. B. A behavioral science. C. A social science. D. A normative science. You realize that educational psychology is also an applied science, it's also a behavioral, and also part of social science. So the correct answer is D. A normative science. So educational psychology is not a normative science. Number 54. Which of the following schools aims to use objective and factual method of study? A. Behaviorism, psychoanalysis, constructivism, and D. None of the above. Of all the options, A is the correct answer. Behaviorism is the one school of thought that aims to use objective and factual methods of study. Number 55. Which one of the following is the best place of social development for a 12-year-old child? A. School, family, playground. D. Neighborhood. The playground is the best place for social development. When you're talking about social development, this is whereby the child is interacting with his or her peers and learning from each other. So of all these options, the playground is the best answer. Number 56. Specific capacities to do a task well are called dash. Attitudes, interest, aptitudes, perception. The correct answer is aptitudes. These are specific capabilities to do well at a task. Number 57. John Dewey stated that school is a dash institution and education is a dash process. A. Social, philosophical, B. Philosophical and philosophical. C. Environment and psychological. D. Social and social. The correct answer here is D. According to John Dewey, the school is a social institution and education is also a social process. Number 58. Piaget described how many stages of cognitive development. The correct answer is 4. According to Piaget, there are 4 stages of cognitive development. Number 59, we introduced the concept of trial and error. A. Pavlov, B. Skinner, C. Thorndike, D. Benner. The correct answer is Thorndike. Thorndike is the one who introduced the concept of trial and error. Number 60, in educational psychology, learning is dash. A. Change in environment, B. Change in society, C. Change in culture, D. Change in behavior. The correct answer is change in behavior. Learning is the process where there is a permanent change in behavior. That is the definition for learning. Number 61, to educate according to nature means A, to return to the nature as opposed to the artificial in life. B, to educate according to the law of nature of human development. C, to study natural laws and apply them to the educational process. And D, all of the above. The correct answer is C, to apply to the natural laws and apply them to the educational process. Number 62, the primary aim of educational psychology is A, to provide the teacher with a greater appreciation of his role in the education of the child. B, to provide academic background essential for effective teaching. C, to provide a theoretical framework for educational research. D, to contribute to an understanding of sound educational practices. The correct answer is D. Number 63, the ancient Greeks studied psychology as a branch of which discipline? A, theology, B, biology, C, philosophy, D, religion. The correct answer here is philosophy. According to the ancient Greeks, they studied psychology under a branch of philosophy. Number 64, which of the following is likely to be a characteristic of an ineffective teacher? A, emphasis on standard. B, emphasis upon the control of the immediate situation. D, refusal to help learners until they've helped themselves. D, differential treatment of learners. The correct answer is D. This is the factor that is most likely to be a characteristic of an effective teacher. Number 65, Ivan Pavlov is considered important in psychology because he, A, discovered the principles of operant conditioning, B, discovered the principles of classical conditioning, C, was the first to understand the implications of classical conditioning for drug tolerance, and D, won the Nobel Peace Prize for his work in animal digestion. When you look at the 4 options, the correct answer is B. Ivan Pavlov is considered important in psychology because he discovered the principles of classical conditioning. Number 66, learning is defined as A, a change in behavior, B, an observable change in behavior resulting from experiences in the environment, C, a relatively permanent change in behavior resulting from experience, D, a relatively permanent acquisition of information through study. The correct answer here is C. Learning is a relatively permanent change in behavior resulting from experience. Psychology originated from one of the following disciplines: A, biology, anthropology, spirituality, philosophy. The correct answer is philosophy. Number 68, which of the following best reflects the nature of educational psychology? 1, positive science, B, regulatory science, 3, behavioral science, and the options A, 1 and 2, B, 2 and 3, C, 1 and 3, and D, 3 only. The correct answer is C, which is 1, positive science, and a behavioral science. Number 69, Dash is associated with the primary mental abilities theory of intelligence. A. Guilford, B. Thurston, C. Spearman, D. Binet. The correct answer is Thurston. He is the one who is associated with the primary mental abilities theory of intelligence. Which of the following is a limitation of educational psychology? A. Knowledge of different stages of development. B. Child-centered education. C. Solving class-related problems. D. The problem of individual differences. The problem of individual differences is one of the limitations of educational psychology. So the correct answer here is D. The changes of body function over a long period of time is called dash. A. Cognitive development. B. Moral development. C. Physical development. D. Social development. The correct answer is physical development. This is where there are changes in the body function over a long period of time. Number 72. What is the name of the type of memory that retains for 30 seconds or less? The keyword is here is retention for 30 seconds or less. A. Sensory memory. B. Working memory. C. Short-term memory. D. Long-term memory. The correct answer is short-term memory. The oldest research methodology in educational psychology is A. Introspection, B. Observation, C. Case study, D. Clinical method. The correct word here is observation. Observation is the oldest research method in educational psychology. Which of the following is not a function of educational psychology? A. To discover techniques by means of which educational goals are attained effectively. B. To promote greater understanding of the learning process. C. To define the goals of which education should strive. D. To promote greater understanding of the learner. Which one of the following is not is the keyword? So the correct answer here is C. To define the goals for which education is to strive. This point is talking about education only, without incorporating issues related to educational psychology. That is the amalgamation of education and psychology. A child between the ages of 2 and 7 is at which stage of cognitive development according to Piaget? A. Sensory motor. B. Pre-operational. C. Formal operational. D. Concrete operational. The correct word is pre-operational. This is the period between the ages of 2 and 7. Number 76, Piaget has often been criticized for underestimating which factor in the development of language? A. Intelligence. B. Biology. C. Social interaction. D. Both A and B. The correct answer is social interaction. He is often criticized for underestimating the role of social interaction in the development of language among children. The concept of conversation, as illustrated by Piaget, means that A. It is important to protect wildlife and forests. B. Certain physical properties remain the same even when outward appearances change. C. One can arrive at the correct conclusion by systematically testing hypotheses. D. Taking the perspective of others into consideration is an important cognitive ability. The correct answer here is B. Certain physical properties remain the same even when outward appearances change. Number 78, the processing of changing the existing schemes to include new information is called A. Assimilation, B. Accommodation, C. Adaptation, D. Egocentrism. The correct word is accommodation. This is where you change the existing schemes to include new information. That's accommodation. So the correct answer is B. One of the following is not part of intelligence according to the group factor theory of intelligence. Which one? A, memory, B, mathematical ability, C, numerical ability, D, spatial ability. The correct answer is mathematical ability. This is not one of the factors or parts of intelligence according to the group factor theory of intelligence. Number 8, they postulated the theory of multiple intelligence. A, Howard Gardner, B, Jean Piaget, C, J.P. Guilford, D, E.L. Thorndike. The correct answer is Howard Gardner. He's the one who postulated the theory of multiple intelligence. At which stage does a child display object permanence according to Piaget? A, sensory motor stage, B, concrete operational, C, pre-operational stage, D, formal operational stage. The correct answer is sensory motor stage. This is the stage at which a child displays object permanence. Number 82, Dash is considered by many as the father of American psychology. A, Rousseau, B, John Dewey, C, William James, D, William Wundt. The correct answer is William James. He is considered by many as the father of American psychology. Number 83, the development in which one gets the ability to distinguish between right and wrong is called A, social development, B, personal development, C, growth, D, moral development. The correct answer is moral development. This is development whereby one is the ability to distinguish between what is right and wrong. Number 84, Jean Piaget is responsible for which theory? A, social cultural theory, B, theory of moral development, C, cognitive developmental theory, D, emotional development theory. The correct answer is C, Piaget developed cognitive development theory. When a child makes use of existing schemes to make sense of events in his or her world, this is called A, maturation, B, activity, C, assimilation, D, accommodation. The correct answer is assimilation. This is whereby one makes use of existing schemes to make sense of events happening in his or her own world. Piaget's theory of cognitive development theory is how many stages? A3, B4, C5, C, D6. The correct answer is 4, which is B. So the correct answer is B. Vygotsky presented the theory of Dash development. A, social cultural, A, B, moral, C, cognitive, D, physical. The correct answer is social cultural. Vygotsky is responsible and is the proponent of the social cultural development theory. Number 88, the ability to think novel and unusual ways is called Dash. A, positive thinking, B, negative thinking, C, creativity, D, intelligence. The correct answer is creativity. This is the ability to think in novel and unusual ways. The learning method that is associated with observing the behaviors of others is called A, learning by trial and error, B, learning by imitation, C, learning by conditioning, D, learning by sight. Learning by imitation is the type of learning whereby one learns through the observation of the behaviors of others. Number 90, the value that one places on one's character, abilities, or behavior is called A, self-esteem, B, self-actualization, C, self-determination, D, self-efficacy. The correct answer is self-esteem. Number 91, according to Vygotsky, learning cannot be separated from Dash. A, a measurable change in behavior, B, perception and attention processes, C, its social contexts, D, reinforcement. The correct answer is social contexts. Remember, Vygotsky is responsible for the theory of socio-cultural development. So learning cannot be separated from its social context. Piaget uses this term for mental structures that are the building blocks of thinking: A, gene; B, zones of development; C, schemas; D, maturation blocks. The correct answer is schemas. So number 92, the correct answer is C. Which of the following is not correctly matched? A, social intelligence, E.L. Thorndike; spatial ability, Thurston; G factor, J.P. Guilford; generativity, intelligence, Robert Steinbeck. The correct answer here is C. This is the one that is not correctly matched. Number 94, the major difference between the perspective of Piaget and Vygotsky pertains to A, their critique of behavioristic principles; B, their conception of children as active constructors of knowledge; C, the role of providing nurturing environment to children; D, their view about language and thought. The major difference between the perspective of Piaget and Vygotsky, according to these options, is their view about language and thought. So number 94, the correct answer is D. Kohlberg's theory of moral reasoning has often been criticized for this pertinent reason. Which one is that? A, he duplicated Piaget's method before arriving at his own theory. B, Kohlberg did not give typical responses for each stage of reasoning. C, his theory does not focus on children's response. D, he mainly based his studies on male samples of children. So the correct answer here is D. That is one of the pertinent reasons why he is often criticized. Number 96, the first intelligence test was developed by Binet; B, Jones; C, Thorndike; D, Temin. The correct answer is Binet. He is the one who is responsible for the development of the first intelligence test. Number 97, guidance is basically helpful in A, solving problems; B, making choices; C, making adjustments. The correct answer is all of the above. Guidance is helpful in solving problems, making choices, as well as making adjustments. Number 98, Dash presented the trial and error theory: A, Thorndike; B, Pavlov; C, Skinner; D, Wundt. The correct answer is Thorndike. He is the one who presented the theory of trial and error. Number 99, Dash pioneered the study of identifying individual differences: A, Watson; B, Skinner; C, Francis Galton; and D, William James. The correct answer here is Francis Galton. He is the one who pioneered the study of identifying individual differences. Number 100, in Maslow's classification, Dash comes third in the series of needs, that is, in the stages in the hierarchy of needs: A, safety; B, physiology; C, love and belonging; D, esteem. According to Maslow, the third need in the hierarchy of needs is love and belonging. So number 100, the correct answer is C. The period from birth to 2 weeks is called A, prenatal period; B, neonate period; C, adulthood; D, adolescence. The correct answer is neonate. According to Piaget, children forget things that are out of sight at the stage of their cognitive development. A, sensory motor stage. B, pre-operational stage. C, concrete stage. D, formal stage. The correct answer is A, sensory motor stage. We've come to the last question in this series, 102 questions in educational psychology. We've come to the last question in this series, 102 questions in educational psychology. Thank you for watching this video. May you subscribe. You are free to share any knowledge, questions, queries, and if you have any comments regarding the questions that I have done, you are free to comment, like, share, and also give me any insights as to the way I've presented these questions. Thank you for supporting this channel, and may the Lord bless you.